Know your sources of money, know your retirement expenses, and then ultimately working your plan. So this is FDL Move Abroad Travel. I help Black women over 40 with their logistics, finances, mindset, and their residency. I am currently working my plan to retire abroad to San Miguel de Allende with a partial stay part of the year in Bogota, Colombia. In this video, we're going to also talk about how I went from confused and overwhelmed to confident enough to plan my early retirement and to move abroad. I promise you, if I could do it, you can do it too. My name is Dion, and I'm here to help you live that dream. So, recently, I watched Our Rich Journeys YouTube video. They're a lovely young couple. They retired early, and their video was called, "How Much Money Do You Need to Retire Early? The Math Does Not Lie." They talked about the FIRE philosophy, which is financial independence, retire early. And within that philosophy, you have to know your expenses, and you also draw from your investments to cover those retirement expenses, right? I never expected to have money to retire early. My initial plan was to retire at 67 because that was the sweet spot for Social Security and also the pension from my employment, right? The common numbers are 67, and I think a full retirement age is 70 years old. Who wants to work until they're 70 years old? I don't think the old people even want to work till they're 70 years old. Our parents didn't, and our grandparents didn't work till they were 70 years old, okay? So I also want to say that I'm a late starter. I don't have $1 million investment portfolio, and probably by the time I leave this world, I still won't have $1 million investment portfolio. But I realized that if I sold my house, I could retire debt-free, okay? And I could also use that money to create another stream of income by investing that money and receiving monthly dividends that would make up for the money that I would not receive in my pension. So that also helped me understand that I could retire early if I could make up for that difference somewhere else, right? That was an eye-opening experience for me. Once I realized that I could retire debt-free, that I didn't have to spend the next 2 to 3 years struggling, paying down my debts in order to retire, that I was just working and working and grinding to pay off my debts, I instantly felt freedom that I haven't felt, I don't think, ever, right? And that's when I said, okay, now that I feel this freedom, now I'm going to figure out what my plan is fully to retire early than I anticipated. I was already working a retirement plan, but now this is the accelerated version of that. I'm going to practice geo-arbitrage to San Miguel de Allende, initially with my eye also on partially living in Bogota, Colombia. As I said, geo-arbitrage, if you're not familiar with the term, is moving to another location, or in this case, country, that is less costly than the one you currently live in. And Mexico and Colombia represent that for me because the dollar isn't doing very well. The peso, the Mexican peso, and the Colombian peso are very strong compared to the dollar. So my USD would go much farther, right? So investing the money from the sale of my house, I don't plan to support my cost of living by pulling from my investment portfolio. I plan to reinvest the money for the most part, at least initially in the first probably 5 to 10 years. However, I do plan at some point to use that extra stream of income as needed probably. I don't think I will initially need it because I have other sources of income. Reinvestment, saving in high yield savings accounts is also an alternative for the money that I earn on my investments. I am investing as I age in the high yield dividend account and also dividend yielding investments. I've analyzed the numbers for my pension and my Social Security to support my life abroad because I know my retirement expenses. That's what we need to know. We need to know our numbers, right? So here we go. Figure out your retirement expenses. What you anticipate your rent to be in that particular city and country. You need to know the city, not just the country. And don't count on people in Facebook to tell you what those are. Get in community. Talk to the people who live there. Talk to everybody. Talk to everybody. So get as much data as you can and analyze that data, right? So again, rent, your utilities, which include electricity, which tends to be the most expensive in Mexico, especially if you're using air conditioning. Gas is fairly reasonable. Water, you have your cell phone bill, you have food, which tends to be somewhat comparable to the U.S. If you're looking at it from a monthly perspective, especially for two people, probably $300 plus, but the quality of the food is significantly better because they don't ingest the stuff that we ingest in this country, right? Dining out, entertainment, any activities that you think you'll participate in, extracurricular activities, travel. That may include just coming back to the States to visit your family, or it could be traveling to other parts of the world, including within your new home country where you're practicing geo-arbitrage, right? So if you like what you've heard so far, I'd like to ask you to hit that thumbs up button, the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I post my videos. My typical schedule is every other Monday. Okay. Moving on. The next cost to consider in your retirement, in our wonderful early retirement, my wonderful people, is healthcare. Healthcare, I know I will be paying a small premium after I retire through my employer. I also know when I hit 65, I will probably be paying for some portion of Medicare, Plan A, Plan B, however that works. I haven't figured that out yet. But I have time to figure it out. I'm going to use a consultant to help me make the right choices. And also, I plan to get a private healthcare plan in Mexico because I don't want to use the public healthcare system, right? My Medicare and my private healthcare plan through my employer won't work in Mexico or another foreign country. So I will have to supplement that care through a private healthcare plan. So I don't have that number yet, but I plan to consult with a healthcare insurance provider in Mexico to get an idea of what that would cost at my age, right? And if I didn't say it before, I plan to retire at 61, which is next year. So researching all of that, my healthcare costs, the out-of-pocket expenses that I've mentioned so far are my primary out-of-pocket expenses that I anticipate. Also, when I'm scouting in March of this year, I'm going to do a dental appointment to get my teeth cleaned and potentially to get a filling replaced. Not sure if I'm going to handle that filling because I don't know if I want to deal with the drilling or whatever. But I'm definitely getting my teeth cleaned, and I'm going to post a video in 2 weeks about that. So it should be 2 weeks. I think I'll have time to shoot it and edit it by then. But look out for that. And I communicated with the dentist through WhatsApp. I'm in the States. They're in Mexico. So I made the appointment in Spanish through WhatsApp for that, and they asked me what services I wanted. So that's going. That should be interesting. I also plan to schedule an orthodontic appointment because I want to get Invisalign. This particular dentist that I made the cleaning appointment with told me that they don't do orthodontics. that I have to consult with a specialist. So I'm going to look for a referral for that in the Facebook group. And I'm also going to talk to some ladies that I know that live in Mexico, San Miguel specifically, to see if they can give me a referral. If you'd like me to share my experience with the dentist and my scouting trip, please leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to respond to you. I respond fairly quickly to any comments that are on my channel. If you have any suggestions for any future videos, please leave that as well. I would be happy to make a video about any subject or to answer your questions. Next, we have up taxes. We still have to pay taxes. Bogota does tax you after you're there 183 days or more. So that's why I plan to divide my time between Bogota and San Miguel, right? So that I'm not double taxed, being taxed here in the States for my income and then being taxed there above a certain threshold. I believe it's 33%, which is a lot of money, okay? So consider any tax implications as well. I mentioned travel, pleasure, family, business, if you still want to conduct business. I'm not diminishing our rich journeys, fire philosophy of having a robust investment portfolio. If you have one, that's wonderful. A lot of us don't. I'm a late investor, right? I didn't start thinking about my investments even through work until this past couple of years. So I'm late. I'm probably never going to have $1 million investment portfolio. It is my goal to hit that number. Now, whether I get there before I leave this world or not, I don't know. But I don't need a $1 million investment portfolio to retire, right? I won't even have a $300,000 investment portfolio, but I'm retiring anyway. I'm making it happen, right? So fireworks is great. It's wonderful. I am not practicing the FIRE philosophy in order to retire early, right? I don't think it should prevent you from retiring. You may have to, stitch some things together in order to come up with a plan so that you can retire early. I'm like, be imaginative, figure it out. Think of all the things you can do, all the sources of income you can come up with to retire early. That's all I can say. It doesn't have to be linear like everybody else's. Make your own path, blaze your own trail, okay? So lastly, I'd like to share some resources down in the description box. And those resources are exodussummit.com/quiz, which is the community created by Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow. Their Exodus Summit community is a group of Black women who want to live abroad, who are planning to live abroad, who have moved abroad. And it's a powerful community. And they have the quiz that helps you come up with a location that's good for you based upon certain criteria. It's not concrete for you. If it comes up with the country you don't like, then don't use that as a source of analysis, right? Try it again. You can take the quiz multiple times. I also have a link for nubio.com, which is a cost of living comparison app. You can compare multiple locations simultaneously to see what things cost: rent, food, clothing, etc., cars. I also have some links for worksheets where you can save over a 52-week period. You can pay down your credit cards. You can budget, track your expenses. Those links are down below. Again, I encourage you to watch my next video, which should be about my dental appointment. If you like to see me film something else, let me know. Getting community, I strongly encourage you to do that. Also in the description below is my Move Abroad Roadmap, 10 steps to help you move abroad. It's free, so if you click on the link, you'll get an emailed PDF of that roadmap. And also that link has a call with me, and I will help you walk through your steps and look at your process, and we could talk about how you can make this happen, because I'm walking through it and it's working for me. I like to share with you and encourage you. And you can ask me questions. Okay, when you book your call, you can ask me anything. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the new viewers, new subscribers. I appreciate all of the people who have returned to look at my video and comment, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye, friends.